So here we are again in the Chapter 3 Grammar Notes. This is the third installment of the Chapter 3 Grammar that I'm going to teach you. We've been through the terminology. We've been through the personal endings, which are very important. I cannot stress that enough. We've been through how to tell what conjugation a verb is, and I'm going to revisit that at the end of this video if I have time, or I might make another one, and then how to conjugate in the present tense. And now we're going to talk about the verb to be. In every language, not just Latin, the verb to be is irregular. Think about it in English. I am, you are, he is, am, are, is, are. Okay? It's irregular. Except for the first person singular, which ends in M instead of O, the personal endings are the same as any other verb. So look here, you need to memorize these. Sum es est, sumus estis sunt. You've already seen est and you've already seen sunt in chapter 1 and 2. The verb will always be followed by the nominative case or by a prepositional phrase. It cannot be followed by an accusative case, which is a direct object. Put a parentheses there. These are easy if you just memorize them. Sum es est, sumus estis sunt. Then you have a list of prepositions. We've already dealt with prepositions in other chapters, but it's a part of speech that indicates the relationship, a spatial relationship of one word to another. It tells you where something is: in, over, under, behind. A prepositional phrase is the preposition and the noun that follows the preposition. For example, in the house, in is the preposition, house is the object of the preposition. The object of a preposition in Latin can either go into the accusative case or the ablative case. In order to remember which prepositions are followed by the ablative case, you need to think about the mnemonic device SID space. His name, SID space, is a mnemonic device that'll help you remember the prepositions. So for example, if you look at the first letter of all of these prepositions, SID, SPACE, you've had in and cum so far, and you're going to get the rest of them. And ob and e and x work like a and an in English. So if it's a word that starts with a consonant, you have an e in front of it. If it's a word that starts with a vowel, it has an x. Same for and ob. So you would have maybe Roma or ob herbe, for example. I don't know why these all centered, but we can fix that. Let's see here. There you go. That's a lot easier to figure out. So A in front of a consonant, AB in front of a vowel. And finally, any preposition not on this list is followed by the accusative, like the preposition post that you have in this chapter's vocab. The prepositions, this explains what I just explained. Like we say an apple, but a tree. A and an mean the same thing. We just change them depending on what our word starts with. Here are examples of prepositional phrases. Cum meo patre, with my father. Post meum patrem, behind my father. In maximo periculo, in very great danger. Ad nostrum villam, to our house. And these are different prepositions that take the ablative or accusative. Notice that ad and post, which take the accusative, are not on the SID space list. So there you go. Finally, the big picture. Here is each conjugation of the present tense broken down for you. Pay special attention to the third conjugation here. It is the one that most students mess up the most often. Please don't be one of those students. Ask me questions if you have them. And finally, I want to go back up to how to tell what conjugation a verb is. And I want to look at your let's see, at your vocab list for this chapter. Let's see here. Let's open it up. And remember, you had all those verbs. So what I would like you to do right now while you're working on this is I would like you to jot down on a scrap piece of paper somewhere what conjugation you think all the verbs are in this chapter, and then come bring it to me and let me look and see if you're actually applying this information right here on how to tell what conjugation they are. So for example, well, it's not going to scroll down for me. Maybe it is, maybe not. There you go. Look at ago agere, or amo amare, audio audire, clamo clamare, naro postulo rideo video. Jot down on a piece of paper what conjugation they are, and then come show me so I know if you're figuring it out right. Other than that, keep going over the notes, and when you're ready, take your practice grammar. In your practice grammar quiz, you will be asked what conjugation verbs are, these verbs in particular. And you will also be asked to conjugate verbs in different forms. So once you're ready, I'm happy to practice with you before you are. If you want to practice, then go ahead and take your quiz, and good luck.